What's up, you guys? It's your girl Cora B. You already know it is me, and I am back with another one. Today, we're going to read Article 2 of the Constitution. We've had already read Part 1, Part 2. So, what I'm saying is, we had already read Articles 1 through section. No, we read Article 1, Section 1 through 10 already. So now we're going to go ahead and get started too. You can go see those videos right here. Part 1 and part 2 is already available for you. And we're going to proceed. I'm trying to learn how to literally put these inside of a playlist. I'm going to learn that. But in the meantime, it's there. So with that being said, I want to let's go ahead and get into this today because, this is very, very interesting. So part 1 and part 2, we learned how Congress is working. We learned that the vice president is actually the president over the Senate, which is Congress. We're learning these things. We're also learning that executive orders, they is basically with executive orders, they top whatever Congress has to say. Like, the president can write an executive order and it has to be what it is unless he's impeached. So we're going to keep going. We're in Article 2 of the Constitution, Section 1. And it states now with Section 1, it has 4 sections. So we're going to go ahead and just read these 4 sections. Okay. Again, we are in the Constitution, Article 2, Section 1. The executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the vice president chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. Each state shall appoint in a such manner as the legislator thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in Congress. But no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or proof it under the United States shall be appointed an elector. So you cannot be an elector if you are basically a Senate and all of that. Like, you can't. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for 2 persons, of whom one at least shall not be inhabitant of the same state within themselves. And they shall make a list of all the persons voted for and the number of votes for each, which list they shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of government of the United States, directed to the president of the Senate, which is the vice president. The president of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. And if there be more than one who have such majority and have an equal number of votes, then the House of Representatives shall immediately choose by ballot one of them for president. And if no person have a majority, then from the 5 highest on the list, the said house shall in like manner choose the president. But in choosing the president, the votes shall be taken by states. The representation from each state having 1 vote, a quorum for this purpose shall consist of a member of members or members from 2/3 of the states. A majority of all states shall be necessary to a choice. That's what we're going through now with the votes, the popularity votes. That's what we're going through right now. All right. A quorum of this purpose shall be da da da. In every case, after a choice of president, the president having the greatest number of votes of the electors shall be the vice president. But if there should remain 2 or more who have equal votes, the Senate shall choose from them by ballot the vice president. The Congress may determine the time of choosing the electors and day on which they shall give their votes, which they shall be the same throughout the United States. No person except a natural-born citizen or citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to be the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States. So in order to become president, you got to be 35 years old and you have to be a resident of the United States, a citizen, for 14 years. In case of the removal of president from office or of his death, resigning, or inability to discharge the powers and duties of said office, the same shall devolve on the vice president, and the Congress may by law provide for the case of removal, death, resignation, or inability, for the case of removal, death, resignation, or inability, both of the president and vice president, declaring what officer shall then act as president, and such officer shall act accordingly until disability be removed or a president shall be elected. The president shall at the stated time receive for his service a compensation which shall neither be increased nor diminished during the period for which he shall have been elected, and he shall not receive within the period of the emolument from the United States or any of them. Before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath and affirmation. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of this United States. That's their job. Their job is to defend the Constitution of the United States, is to defend themselves, the government. That's their job. Section 2, we got 4 minutes. The president shall be commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and of the militia of several states when called into actual service of the United States. He may require the opinion and writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of their respective offices, and he shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States except in the cases of impeachment. He shall have the power by and with the advice and consent of the Senate to make treaties, provided 2/3 of the senators present concur, and he shall nominate and with the advice and consent of the Senate shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers, and consul judges of the Supreme Court and all other officers of the United States whose appointments are not herein otherwise provide for, and which shall be established by law. But Congress may by law vest the appointment of such inferior officers, and they think proper, in the president alone, in the course of law, or in the heads of the department. The president shall have power to fill up all vacancies that may happen during the recess of the Senate by granting commissions which shall expire at the end of their next session. All right, Section 3. He shall from time to time give the Congress information of the Senate of the Union and recommend to the consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expended. He may on extraordinary occasions convene both houses or either of them, and in the case of disagreement between them, the respect to the time of adjournment, he may adjourn them to such time as he shall think proper. He shall have ambassador and other public ministers. He shall take care of the laws, be faithfully executed, and shall commission all officers to the United States. Section 4. The president, vice president, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office or impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. That is the duty of the president. So Section 2, Article 2, is talking about the duties of the president. If you don't know, now you know. And thank you for choosing the Cora B Show. That is all that I have to give you. I'm glad that you all watched this to the end. But yeah, that is the duties. So Article 1 is talking about the vice president and what the Congress can and cannot do. Article 2 is talking solely about the president, what his job is or her job is. They have power as well. But remember, their job is for the government. With that being said, thank you all for choosing the Cora B Show. I will see you all tomorrow for Article 3.